We're at Caprock Canyon State Park. Primitive campsite, very back of the park. Walking to our campsite here. Yeah, me and Tyler.
Ah!
There he is. Little sun squatch. Here's Tyler's home for tonight. It's the Northface Storm 2. Here's my home for the night. Wolfskin Chinook 2. Tomorrow we will backpack to the back of the canyon and spend the night back there. Probably about 8 to 10 mile hike altogether. Cool. So we're in Caprock Canyon State Park, Kittiquay, Texas. We spent the night last night. I say we, I mean me and my son Tyler. Spent the night last night. South Prong camping site. Not too bad a night. It's January 2018. This is a little pathway to the restrooms. I was just checking out, see how good the bathrooms were. Yeah, basically a cement porta potty. This is what their campsites look like back here. A place to hang your lantern. You got your fire ring. Of course, we are in a burn ban right now, so no fires permitted. The only fire you can do is a camp stove, something like that. It's a very small town in Texas. This park resides outside of. So the office was closed yesterday. They didn't have enough personnel to, I guess, open up yesterday. So we didn't get any permits or anything like that. We arrived here after hours anyway. So I'm gonna drive up to the office this morning, see if anybody's there. If not, I'll go ahead and fill out the permit paperwork and do the self-pay station. So this is the parking area for the South Prong camping area. So it kind of does a little loop. Kind of neat. So this is campsite 38. Let's just take a look, see what one of these campsites looks like. So you get a nice little path. Some of these campsites go back quite a ways. And then here is a path that connects all the campsites together. And it leads to the bathroom back over there. Glorified porta potty. So that's a pretty good sized little camping area for spot 38. Fire ring, lantern holder, plenty of places to pitch several tents. So our plan for the day is we're going to kind of hang around, we're calling this base camp here. We're going to hang around base camp to about lunchtime. We're going to eat lunch, and then we're going to get our backpacks gathered up. And there is a trail, a loop trail. It kind of follows around the edge of the canyon, back over this way, and also you can go up and over that ridge. You can kind of see back there, there's more canyon back there, so you can go around all that. Somewhere back in there is a place called Fern Cave, so we're gonna go back there and check that out. Basically, we're gonna backpack back there, and we're gonna spend the night back there, and then next morning we'll continue on this way up to North Prong camping area, and then backtrack back to here to base camp. And then we'll pack up and call it a little trip. So we're doing just a little 2-day trip here. You can see these holes here, indentions. There's a herd of buffalo that lived here in Caprock Canyon. They're pretty docile creatures most of the time. You can see some hooves there from. But yeah, you could be camping here and have a big old buffalo walk by your tent. It's pretty neat. The first time I camped here, I had 2 or 3 buffalo come wandering right next to my tent. So you can see my truck over there, our campsite 50 or 51. So up here, this ridge, right that first tree there, you can see my band-aid finger. Right up there, we saw some odd-dead sheep last night, just as it was getting dark. It's pretty cool. And we heard, I think 4 different coyote packs. First one started up on that side. We had some that was pretty close over here. Then we could hear some back this way, and then we heard some towards the north end. Guess they were all establishing their territories before they went out on their hunt. Heard them again several times through the night. Somebody left a jug of water. So Caprock Canyon is part of Paladuro Canyon, if you didn't already know that, which is outside of Canyon, Texas, about 8 miles, about 16 miles from Amarillo, Texas. Some more campsites here. Kind of, you got a little trail goes back in there a little ways. So you kind of closed off a little bit. So right now, Tyler and I are the only ones out here, at least in this area of the canyon. So that's a nice little spot. And most of these campsites, you can see the next campsite through there. A lot of these have a little trail connecting. So we'll try to go in on the back side of our campsite. So if there were a lot of people out here, you'd probably be able to hear them, but visually, you know, you kind of feel like you're by yourself. The campsite's set up this way. Pretty cool. So there's our camp spot. Tyler is using the Northface Storm 2. I'm using the Wolfskin Chinook 2. So, 2-man tents for our base camp. Hey, Tyler. 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 I'm gonna drive up to the office and see if there's anybody there. Okay?
Okay.
I'll be back in about 15-20 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. This is a prairie dog crossing. Prairie dogs. See some out there. There's little holes everywhere. So all these little holes, they all connect together. Pretty intricate tunnel system they have. Zoom in on them a little bit. Stop the truck here, let me see them. There's little boogers. Okay, interesting development here. I was talking to those good people there. They showed up here yesterday before closing hours. I showed up after closing hours, which was 5. And there was someone here. They talked to him. I spoke with him. And I did read on this bulletin board over here. Said the park was going to be closed after 5 p.m. for 3 days. And the only people that were allowed in were hunters. And you have to have special permits. Of course, you know, your hunting license and all that. But they are supposed to close the park down for that. I did read that, but there was no date on the sign. And these people were telling me that it's tonight when it starts. So, looks like my trip is going to get cut short. So we did our base camp and we were supposed to backpack into the back of the canyon and camp out in the, you know, very back there. Now we're not going to get to do that. That is a shame. So, it looks like no backpacking for this trip. Oh, that stinks. There's nobody here in the office right now. Would they know that we're back here camping and we're not with the hunting party? I don't know. So, technically there's no option. We have to leave. We're not part of the hunting party. But, you know, there is the chance that I could just say to hell with it. And, I mean, my truck will be visible, obviously, but they won't know if we're with the hunting party. So if I tear down base camp and show no signs of camping, then they just see a truck. Maybe they wouldn't think anything of it. But if they saw my truck there and we left base camp up, they'd be like, oh, there's campers. They're not supposed to be doing that. But it seemed like the hunters would be camping as well. So that's one point to that side of the story. The other point is, do I want to be out here with a bunch of hunters? You know, because in their minds, this park is closed, and the only people that are in here are people that are hunting. So, if me and my son are kind of lurking in the back there through the trees, they see movement and they're like, you know, deer. There's not supposed to be any people out here anyway, so all the hunters are around me or behind me. We might get shot at, possibly. So, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to spend the day here. We'll probably go do that hiking trail, the loop. Go look at Fern Cave. Instead of taking our backpacks with all our gear, we'll just take our day packs, water, and then we'll go ahead and bring the old backpacking stove and have lunch back there. Hike back, and then I guess we'll call it a trip. One day short. Let's talk to these people here. I'll get right back with you. Well, I was talking to that elderly couple in that white truck. They don't know anything about it, about the hunting party, park being shut down too, so they're just driving through. So I thought I'd stop by here. This I think it's an observation point. I'm not sure what all's in there. We'll go take a look. Take a look at the edge of the canyon here. So you can mountain bike here. There's some of the trails you're able to mountain bike, hike, of course. And then horses. Well, so far today, this is the only buffalo I've seen. These metal silhouettes. They're pretty docile unless it's mating season as well. Definitely not full size. Oop. So back when the Indians roamed around here, of course, you know, they lived off of buffalo. Buffalo was their livelihood for just about everything. Clothing, tools, food. So what they would do, they would drive buffalo off of the canyon. They'd get on their horses and get them spooked, and they would basically, the buffalo would just fall off the edge of the cliff down into the canyon and die, and they would harvest them. Oh, okay. So this is just like a little pavilion here. Come out here and have a little party, I guess. says here in 1974, archaeologists unearthed a 10,000-year-old bison. Guessing that's it right there. So I guess it's kind of a reenactment of what they found back in 1974. Alright, let's go check on Tyler and tell him the sad news. Hey, we're back at Prairie Dog Town, and guess what I found?
Mr. Buffalo.
Pretty good size. He is probably roughly 40 yards from my truck. Got 5 of them here and that one back behind us. This one here, he is pretty close to the truck. Hey there, you're taking a look at us. What a big old black rig is a little bigger than I am. Female, younger one. If my engine was turned off, you could hear them crunching that dry grass. I can kind of hear them, but the truck probably drowning it out. Some young ones here. That one there on the left is probably not but 2 or 3 years old, I would imagine. It's a fairly young one right here. He looks to be about a year older than that one. That's an adult, a young adult, probably 5 to 6 years of age. Last time I was here, we seen a really old one. I mean, he had a walking cane and everything, and so alrighty, bring it back when we're on the trails. Well, we're on the trail. Unfortunately, we don't get to camp back here. Due to the hunting party taking over the park for 3 days. And everybody else has to get out. A clump of cactus, somebody. Yeah, that looks like a SpongeBob character or something there. There's a happy face.
There's the E right there.
Huh?
There's the E right there.
Yeah. Oh, there's a jack-o'-lantern. Probably the Indians did that over 100 years ago, you know. There's a Pac-Man. So anyway, we decided we're gonna hike this trail anyway. We're gonna stop along the way somewhere in the back probably. We might go up on that big ridge check it out. We're gonna kind of scope it out for camping next time. Hopefully they won't be having a hunting party taking over the whole park. So we picked up the main riverbed through here. Actually has some water running. They had some snow last week, about an inch or two. We found little patches of it here and there in the shade. And then most of this is from rain a couple days ago.
We killed and packaged our own beef jerky.
Yeah. And I think this is going to be our trail. See, there's a trail. You know, we may have went to the right and then come this way and bypassed all that. Yeah. That's probably what it was. But we need to go around this ridge. We may have to cut our trip short. We have to be out here by 5 due to the hunter and hunting party. And it's 1 o'clock now. And we're probably about 1/4 of the way in on this loop trail. So we might just get on the other side of this ridge, cook some lunch, and then just head back. There goes the Sasquatch. I think the trail's this way, Tyler. But I want to see what that is to the left. We got here last night. No wind. Wind is picking up today. Tomorrow there is a wind advisory for the next 2 days. We will not be here.
Be careful right there, it's old.
Little raccoon tracks. Seeing a lot of raccoon, deer, coyote, and buffalo tracks. Yeah, big washout spot. Yeah, so you can climb up in there. There's like a little gully up in there, I bet. Looking straight up here. Some neat formations.
Well, I'm gonna be in the truck without my shoes on.
All right. Finally got to the part of the trail where it starts to loop around. So, base camp, you see that ridge there? Base camp is just right there. So we got some power lifts, or today terminology is graffiti. So we gotta head that way. So here is the town of Kittiquay. Don't blink. You're liable to miss it.
Lame joke.
Tyler says a lame joke. So one of these restaurants we came to eat at right there says pizza, but the day we were here they didn't serve pizza on that day for some reason.
They don't serve pizzas on Thursdays.
Yeah, who'd have thought?
That's what the lady said. every day they have a big pizza sign outside, but every day, besides Thursdays, they have pizza.
So we're leaving Caprock Canyon State Park because closes at 5 for the hunting party. Then it'll reopen until the 12th. So we're on to the next state park, which is outside of Quanah, about an hour and 40 minutes from here. It says they have backpacking there, but we're going to get there in dark time, so we're just going to find a spot and set up our tents. So no backpacking on this trip, I guess. Alrighty. So we're at Copper Breaks State Park. Day 2 of our backpacking but not backpacking trip. There's a lake over there, Copper Breaks Lake. And back behind us here there's a pond. It's called Big Pond. We're at the back of the state park here. It's camping sites. Pretty nice. There's water spigots. You got a little bit of overhead shade dill, lantern holder, picnic table. Pretty good sized little camping spots. We got here, it was dark. We picked the group camp. Here's Tyler. So that roof over there, that's the pooper room. The bathroom. Had a lot of coyote activity last night. A lot of coyote activity. There's so many we couldn't even tell how many packs there were. So here's our little campsite. I slept in the Big Agnes, Rattlesnake, Mountain Glow, one person. Nice little tent. We'll have to do a preview and a review on this sucker. So we just have the emergency blanket, orange on the bottom side, reflective material on the top side. Makes a good ground sheet. Packs down pretty small, doesn't weigh a whole lot. It helps reflect the heat back up to you in your tent. Flush. So here's our breakfast we had. Tyler had scrambled eggs with bacon. I had spicy Southwest breakfast hash, potato, shredded beef, green chili, black beans, and corn. It wasn't the prettiest looking food, but it was really good. Mountain House makes some pretty good freeze-dried meals. And we had some hot chocolate. There's a little backpacking stove. Screws onto the little butane canister. And a little mess kit. Good for backpacking. Comes in its own little stuff sack. And here's Tyler's spot where he chose to put his tent. It is in the Eureka Solitaire Solo Bivy tent. It's a good little tent. You can't sit up in it. Well, you can if the rainfly is back like it is. There's a zipper right here. You can access that zipper from the inside and outside. So actually you can sit up in this.
This head's gonna be outside of the tent.
So you can enter that way, or there's a door over here on this side. No vestibule with this tent, but it's long enough you can see where the end of the climate sleeping pad is. Up here at the head, there's room for a pack, shoes, whatever. So it's a nice sleeping pad. It's has an R value of 4. Yeah, 4. So it's definitely a good 4-season sleeping pad. Very comfortable. I have the same one. Mine is slightly larger. This one is 6 foot long. Mine is 6'4" long. 30 inches wide. This one is 25 inches wide. So you got a little bit of room down the sides too for some gear if you need it. And I think you have a little toggle loop inside, don't you, to hang a light?
Yeah. It's like right underneath this thing.
So the rain fly on this tent is attached. The rain fly is attached. So you just undo it. And it folds down this way. You got a little Velcro sleeve thing right here, and then
Loops going to the stakes.
you got little bungee loops that wrap around the stakes. We upgraded the stakes with this tent. They came with little flimsy metal ones. So we ditched those and got, it's a version of groundhog stakes. But look how close to the edge he was. Good thing he's not a sleepwalker. So right around this bend is a pond. We can go over there and take a look at that. Tyler saw some wild turkey down through here a while ago. Lots of coyotes. So I'm pretty sure I had 2 coyotes sniffing around the head of my tent last night. I heard some little footsteps right here. So I could hear them when they stepped on it. And then I heard them sniffing by my head. And I kind of realized it was coyotes, probably more than likely. So I went like that real loud. And then they kind of took off this way. They kicked up a little bit of dirt and rocks up on my tent when they took off. So I guess they were just curious of what we were and what we were doing. There's a water spigot. I think there's just one water spigot for this little group campsite. So this state park, I've never been here before. It's the first time. Copper Break State Park. I never even really heard of it. Once we got kicked out of the Caprock Canyon State Park, we didn't want to cut our trip short by one day and go home, so we wanted to, well, let's just find a nearest state park from here, headed back towards home. This one popped up, so here we are. There's a little walkway path that goes down to the big pond. Lots of ducks out there. So you can do some fishing in there.
We can explore that wall thing later.
We're probably gonna do a little bit of hiking before we leave today. We gotta head home today, and we got a kettle corn event coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas. And then I have a bathroom remodel I got to get finished. Lots to do. I was getting stir crazy and about to go nuts, so I had to make this little trip. So if you don't go crazy every once in a while, you'll go crazy, right?